This is Comet Picks by the Glick.
And I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hey, Jason, what do you have on tap for us tonight?
Well, tonight is it's like a series from a writer that I've enjoyed for a while, a guy by the name of Tom Taylor. He's written like a lot of stuff that I've enjoyed, such as the all new Wolverine over at Marvel, run on Suicide Squad over at DC, and also the Deceased series, which is basically DC's answer to Marvel Zombies. He's also probably one of the few, if not only, writers to have written Star Wars comics at both Dark Horse and Marvel. Now, one thing I've not paid a lot of attention to is his creator-owned work, because he's basically been busy like building a following at the major companies. It's like over the last few years, but after his success with All New Wolverine and Deceased, he's basically like teamed up with artist Daniele Di Nicuolo to do a series called Seven Secrets, which wrapped up after 3 volumes. And well, I think it's all right, but there's this nagging feeling that maybe, just maybe, I'm too old for this stuff. Anyway, what is Seven Secrets about? Well, basically it's about an organization called the Order of the Seven Secrets. It's like they've basically been around for millennia, and they're basically like their job is to protect like these seven secrets guarded in suitcases. Each suitcase has a holder, someone who's like handcuffed to them and trying to make sure they don't fall into the wrong hands, as well as a keeper in order to protect the holder. Now, we're introduced to two of these, one particular pair of keeper and holders. Like early on, there's Ava and Sigurd, and we're introduced to them they're being attacked and by an unknown force, and Sigurd has to give up his life in order to save Ava. Now, this is important because we find out in short order that they went and did something that a keeper and holder are never supposed to do: fall in love and have a kid. That kid is Caspar. He is the actual protagonist of this series, and we're introduced to him once the once the series gets going, and it's in its second issue. It's like he's basically we're shown early on that after at his birth, Ava understood what this meant for the organization. So we're showing a scene of her just after having given birth to Caspar, just gives him away, saying, "No, I don't want to see him." And it's like that's, and then so Caspar is given to other members of the order in order to be raised, because hey, kids, it's like kid comes from a good family line here. No way they're going to give him up. They just can't have him being a drag on his parents' obligations, which is to the secret. So Caspar winds up having a relatively normal childhood, being raised by an awesome order that's that's basically training him in all sorts of cool combat and general knowledge stuff. But it's as things go on, he grows up, he gets to know Ava and Sigurd, and tries to understand why they let him go. But the series doesn't get going until the order comes under attack by the Seekers. They're essentially the bad guys here, and they believe that they want to get their hands on the secrets of the power they represent. And then there's one of their higher ups, Amon, who basically believes that this whole conflict is just total bullshit, and he wants these things to be destroyed so this whole thing can come to an end. Now, I think that this is overall a fairly solid concept. I mean, you got your mystery, what is the seven secrets? You got your your likable teenage protagonist, in Caspar. And there's a colorful group of supporting cast members as well, from Bully Titus to Allison and his and Fauci. I think that's her name. They're both they're like a former conqueror and pirate queen that we'll find out more about later on. But it's got a general solid story and solid progression and setup. And on one hand, it maintains a solid level of presentation as well. like Taylor's writing is never it's never less than professional, and he does a good job of keeping the action moving. It's like moving quite along while also just throwing in like like fun bits like just how well respected the order is, and like how they've got how all talks about all the world leaders that showed up in order to mourn Caspar's passing, and how they've also got like a good friend in the like in the Aboriginal Queen of England in this like in the world of this series. And there's also his fun his bit of like dunking on bits of like established wisdom that isn't actual that isn't actual like wisdom. It's like and also the quipping mostly hits, but if anything the real star of the show here is the art from Di Nicuolo. I was not familiar with this guy prior to this series, but apparently he did a lot of Power Rangers comics also for publisher Boom Comics. And it's like this series was lucky to have him, because he like from the jump, like Nicuolo delivers some really like stellar like amazing work. Just work just like leaps off of the page and grabs you. It's exciting, full of energy, and just like let you know this is like the major talent has arrived here. He's got style, he's got flash, and he's got a lot of diversity here too, in terms of like being able to like draw a cast like it's like a very varied sizes, body types, ethnicities, and also like a very diverse geographic series as well, because the series takes place all over the world, and even like some places that aren't part of it as well. So like that's kind of the one thing about the series that I really can't say is bad, and I do think that overall it's like Nicuolo's work like generally elevates the it's like the work as a whole. Oh, and also I do want to mention that to even like give us like a really adorable demon, baby demon in volume 3, which this just really nice here, just like a little side. I mean, the demon didn't have to be adorable, but it's like he made it adorable, and that's really kind of impressive and all. Where Seven Secrets starts to lose me is in the fact that it's actually it's really kind of conventional in terms of how these kinds of stories go, because basically you got like an organization that's like been protecting its secrets for millennia, and then wouldn't you know it, they're facing an attack by like by an organization that wants to destroy them. And you know how these things go. It's like, has there ever been a story involving these kind of setups where like the like where the defending organization or the organization made up of the good guys like wasn't immediately brought to their knees by the attacking guys? It's like early on, and at one point in volume 1 it looks like Taylor is going to like just throw that stuff right out the window, because as the Order of the Seven Secrets is being attacked, well, like their leader basically informs the person leading the attack that you don't think we didn't see this coming? Like, we've been preparing for something like this for millennia now. And I thought, hey, that's cool. Like, it's it makes sense that that they actually have a plan to fight off like a well staged attack by the bad guys here. So that's something I really liked. I want to see, okay, where are you gonna go with this, Tom? Then immediately afterwards we find out that, oh, turns out the bad guys anticipated this, so they only committed the people they didn't like to this attack. Oh, and also the it's like the Order of the Seven Secrets, well, apparently they're going to like abandon things anyway and go to a place that that obviously the bad guys can't figure out where it would be, but like the bad guys are really that clever, so they do. And basically just wasn't recommitting to all this, to this to this business that I was just so hoping to be done with. I was hoping for a good swerve out of convention, but instead it's like just swerved away from convention and then just right into right into a wall. And it's like, unfortunately, like Seven Secrets really doesn't deliver anything like that interesting or compelling after after that. I mean, there is some business in like in volume 2 when it's like hinted at that maybe like the Order of Seven Secrets may not have like the right idea when terms like when it comes to like torturing people for information, or just trying to like demanding like absolute fealty from their it's like from their young charges, and also like the level of like torture and brutality that goes into selecting the keepers and the holders. That's something that's kind of like implied at the end of volume 2, but it doesn't actually play out like once we get to volume 3, because volume 3, well, basically continues the it's like the business of like finding out that Caspar is, well, he's not just a chosen one, he's super special as well. Like aside from the like from being like one of the holders, well, it turns out that he was also raised in in the land of fairies as well. So, oh, and apparently he can fly too. So there's that. So there's a lot of that business going on here. Just make sure he's like he's super special, in addition to like narrating the whole thing as well, which, as he lets us know early on, that, oh wait, yeah, too bad I don't live to see this because I die at the end. And if you think that, well, hey, wait a second, it's kind of you're kind of really tipping your hand there, Mr. Taylor, if you're saying that like our main character's going to die at the beginning of the series. Makes you wonder, like, hey, maybe he's got some sort of plan here, like there's going to be some sort of twist like at the end. Well, I will admit that he does really commit to that bit. It's like as things go on, but in the end, it's the way things turn out. It's all pretty conventional. It's like things work out well, even for the bad guys, and we also find out what all the 7 secrets are, which I'll admit, like, the revelation is kind of interesting, but at the same time, I don't know. It's like I guess I was kind of hoping for more to be done with this, because we really don't find out what these secrets are, what they represent, until the very last issue. So the series, called 7 Secrets, it's one of those things where it's not really about them. It's really about the people protecting them, and that's probably something that that I think like you can probably pick up on as things go. But at the same time, for a series with something like that in its title, I guess I was kind of looking for more to be done with it. It's like at the end, because also the end. I don't know if this series was meant to run only 18 issues, or if Taylor had plans to extend the series length. Things went well, like if it became a Something is Killing the Children level hit. But the way the story plays out, by the end of these 18 issues, it kind of feels like it's run its course, and that everything's wrapped up at the end with a nice little bow, and ultimately in the end, it's all right. I think it's a fine adventure story that ultimately doesn't do a whole lot new with with its setup, but at least has some really nice art in order to elevate the whole experience. It's and ultimately, there's this nagging feeling here that maybe I am too old for something like this. That this was ultimately something that was probably pitched more towards a young adult readership, basically someone who, an audience who isn't completely familiar with all the trends and tropes of these stories, who can look at this and go and don't have the knowledge of years of genre expectations in order to in order to be disappointed by the fact that it looked like the Order of the 7 Secrets was going to be one step ahead of its opponents after its initial attack, but then just reveal themselves to be just as dumb as every organization before them. Yeah, it's something that I kind of would like to know what my my nieces would think about this, since this does seem like it's perfectly readable by anyone, anyone in junior or high school. For me, I don't know. It's not bad, but I don't know. It's I guess I was expecting more from it. I was expecting more from Mr. Taylor, considering the stuff I've generally enjoyed the stuff he's done, but I guess it's like I'll be I'll say my expectations for when the third volume of Deceased is it's like is collected next year, and well, you better believe I'm going to be doing a podcast on that because that kind of like is like him firing on all cylinders and finding like all sorts of like interesting, cool connections between like the various DC characters that like in an apocalyptic setting. So yeah, that's something I'll really enjoy talk about. And I guess like if you're looking to like see the writer at his best, you can either check out any of the deceased stuff, specifically the villain centric volume Unkillables, or his all new Wolverine run, which basically gave Laura Kinney the spotlight as Wolverine. It's like it basically showed her that yeah she can be every bit as good. It's like as Logan himself, even in some new ways that don't involve like murdering a whole bunch of bad people, which is kind of impressive when you think about it. As for Seven Secrets, yeah, it's not bad, but I don't know. It's like not something I recommend that you go and rush out and buy. It's like if you're an established fan of the writer, but hey, maybe this will turn you into a fan of artist Daniele Di Nicuolo. And I'll look forward to seeing whatever he does next, which also includes a team up on Nightwing, which Taylor is currently writing. So I'll be interested in seeing how that reunion goes.
Cool. So do you like the deceased? I can't say it right. Series, and how does it compare to the Marvel zombies? Man, my tongue is tied tonight.
No, I get it. It's like I don't know. It's interesting because it does seem like Taylor had a better plan for expanding the series than Kirkman did. Like Kirkman, over and Sean Phillips over with Marvel Zombies is like I think they just kind of like figured like that initial miniseries was just going to be like one and done. Like we're just do like some like over the top Marvel like zombie action, and that's it. Because no, this isn't going to catch on. This is going to be a mega hit. Turns out it was a mega hit, and wound up being like growing like far beyond their initial expectations. And they did a second series, and then they tapped out. With Deceased, Taylor seems to have managed to like balance things pretty well in terms of delivering both like self-contained stories for each of the various Deceased like storylines, while also contributing to like a bigger picture as well. Which is to say, like you can read volume 1, and it wraps up pretty self-contained. You can read volume 2, same as well. Even though there are a couple threads that you think, hey, maybe there's going to be like a follow-up volume to like finish things off, and that's what we're getting next year. Like Deceased, War of the Dead Gods.
All right. Do you know what you're going to be talking about next time?
Next time we're going back to high school, specifically Rick Remender's high school. Rick Remender and Wes Craig's high school in Deadly Class, which is like a series I've been reading for years, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they wrap it up, and if it becomes like the creators, specifically the writers, magnum opus.
Okay, we'll catch you next time on Comic Picks by the Glick.
Laters.